Hello, happy Wednesday. Thank you for being here. Thank you for showing up to our live love talk. I am clicking live on Instagram. Let's see if that works. Yes, I'm live on Instagram as well. And I saw that there are some ladies here. I would like you to ask me questions. Let me know, if you are feeling exhausted right now in your life, in your love life. And every single week for a few years now, I don't know how many years, I show up live at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and we talk about the subject. And hi Alexis. Yes, exhausted. I know. It's exhausting to be alive. Let's see if I can help you a little bit. If you even get one one idea, one tip, that will be awesome to to help you. But anyway, I was saying I show up every week, and the main reason that I show up live, it's because this is your opportunity to ask your questions and to ask for coaching, to ask for advice. And the beauty of being live is I can ask you follow-up questions. We can go really, really deep into what is going on. So I love doing this. I love. And I truly believe that every single woman's lives improves when she is with the right guy. And that is the main thing. The guy has to be the right guy for us, because we all know, we all have been there. I don't think any woman dies without knowing how it feels, what it is to be in a relationship with the wrong guy. It's exhausting. It's just so draining. It just takes the living life out of us. We value relationships and connection and sharing our heart with a man so much that if the guy is not the right guy, it really affects our whole life, not only our love life. It also affects our work, it affects our relationship with our kids, it affects our relationship with our friends, and most importantly, our relationship with ourselves. So today topic, I wanted to talk about this because I think this is very important, and a lot of women right now are feeling exhausted. They are feeling exhausted. It's almost the end of summer for us in the northern hemisphere, and it's that time of the year where just the conditions outside are, if we don't handle our mindset, our mind, the things that we are telling ourselves, the thoughts that we entertain, can really lead us into a downward spiral. Why? Because it's almost September. So we are very close to the end of the year. And I know most of you, let me know if that's right, most of you started the year with very lofty goals, with all the things you were going to accomplish this year and how you were going to meet the love of your life, or how this was going to be the year you were going to get pregnant and have a baby, or how this was going to be the year that you were going to finally fix your relationship with your husband, and all those things. When we get to this time of the year, it's very easy to get frustrated, to get exhausted, to look back and say, well, I don't feel I have anything to show for. And so that's one of the reasons why this time of the year is so important to keep showing up and keep loving ourselves harder, and keep holding a leash on the conversations that we have with ourselves when nobody's watching. Because those conversations that we have with ourselves are really dictating the kind of energy we have. being exhausted, it doesn't have a lot to do with how busy we are in the real life. It doesn't really have a lot to do with the everyday activities we have. It has a lot to do with energy management, how we manage our energy. And that is usually a way to see it that really works, is to see what kind of things are we entertaining on a daily basis. What kind of thoughts are we entertaining on a daily basis? What kind of activities are we engaging on a daily basis from an energetic standpoint? Because we could be doing the most amazing thing in the world, and if our energy is not the right energy, is not aligned energy, in other words, if we are not enjoying ourselves in the moment, we are going to be exhausted, because it's not really, at the end of the day, it's not about the things we are doing or the things that we have or don't have, the men that we have or don't have, what he is doing or not doing, if he is texting us or not texting us, if he's sending us flowers or not, if he's there growing and getting better and exercising and taking care of himself, or he's letting himself go. It's not about that. It's about the kind of energy that we put when those things happen. So it's very, very important to understand that it's about energy management, not so much about managing the events. And it's also important to understand how we as women are wired biologically, because that will dictate how we react or respond to those things that are happening outside of our control. So we as women, different than men, we have more estrogen than testosterone. We have, those are the two hormones, and oxytocin, but today I'm going to talk mostly about estrogen and testosterone. Those are the two hormones that really, really have a lot to do with our everyday energetic level, with our mood, with how we feel. And they will dictate the level of estrogen or testosterone in our body, will dictate how we feel. I mean, there is something that every single woman knows, that is called PMS, the premenstrual syndrome. That is when our estrogen lowers and our testosterone rises, and we don't feel as we usually feel. We feel, depending on the woman, we will feel sad or depressed or euphoric or irritable. So our hormones, our biology is really, really a big, big point in our energetic levels. So we as women, we have both. We have estrogen and we have testosterone. Now, what happens is that for women to feel good, to feel balanced, to feel like, like you are good in your body, that you got it, that you are, that you can do this thing called life, that you can thrive and do your things and be loving, be kind, be generous, be thoughtful, all the feelings that we want to feel, because we all want to feel like that. Our estrogen has to be higher than our testosterone. That is the way it has to go in order for us to feel good. So if we are stressed, when we get stressed about certain things, could be your work, could be your children, could be a family event. Maybe you are dealing with a parent that is aging. Maybe you are dealing with a sister that is not doing good, or a nephew. Anything that stresses us out, it will make us produce more testosterone, because testosterone is the hormone that puts us into action, into flight, fight, or hide. is the hormone that makes us take action. That's why men have more testosterone than estrogen, because men are naturally wired to do, to perform, to take action, to go and kill the animal, to go and build the house, to go and pursue the woman. They feel good when their testosterone is high, because that's when they feel horny and they can go and go after us in that way. But for us, it's totally the opposite. So if you are feeling exhausted right now, that is the first thing I want you to do. I want you to grab a little notebook, a little bit, a little one. Could be, whatever you have, or your notes on your phone, whatever it's easier for you, and take a log for a week of how stressed you are, and write it down for a whole week, and see and note as well what are the things that are stressing you out. So by the end of the week, you are going to have a very clear picture of what is going on in your life. And then once you do that, you can go and open it and see how many of those things are under your control. Okay? How many of those things are under your control, and how many of those things are not under your control? So the things that are not under your control, and those are usually in the category of how men are treating you, what men are doing, what are they, or not doing. Those are things that are not under your control. So I want you to put them aside. Put them aside for a week and let it sit there. It's going to be there in a week. And then I want you to take a look on the things that are under your control. Okay, maybe you didn't sleep that well. Maybe you slept only 6 hours and you feel good when you sleep 8 hours. Maybe your diet wasn't, the kind of diet that makes you feel alive and sharp and good. Maybe you didn't eat as many greens. Maybe you didn't eat as many fruits. So those are things that are under your control. Maybe you didn't really put perfume in a whole week. So those are the things that are under your control. And I want you to write them down on another piece of paper, and just write them down randomly, not in order or anything like that. And then every day, I want you to cross some of those out to make sure that you are taking care of the things that are under your control. I will give you an example on my own life. How did it work in my own life? I used to smoke cigarettes. I started smoking when I was 14 years old. And by the age of 34, I had been smoking for 20 years or so. So I was a smoker. And by the age of 34, I had tried by force, forcing me, that is doing things out of my control, to quit smoking. And I couldn't. I would quit for a little bit and then I will get it back. So at the age of, what are you on? Okay, let's see. What, you are an athlete? Yes, I'm coming to that, Alexis. Yes, I am an athlete. And up until the age of 35, I was a yogini. I used to do yoga, a lot of yoga. And I could smoke and do yoga. I was one of those smokers. I used to do Bikram yoga. And before that, I used to be a biker. And before that, I used to lift weights. So I was always into physical activities, and smoking was never a problem. I would go on a 20-mile bike ride and stop in the middle smoke a cigarette and keep going. So I know that's not the case for every smoker, but for me that was the case. So anyway, when I turned 34, 35, I decided that I was going to quit smoking for good. And by that time, I knew that trying to control something that I didn't have any control over, like was an addiction to my cigarette, wasn't going to work. Okay. I want you to think about this in your dating life. Trying to control the things that you cannot control, aka how a man shows up, it's something that creates stress, and it's a lose-lose preposition. Everybody loses when we do that. So what did I do? I decided to start running. I knew that I could get away doing yoga, doing some things, and smoking, but running and smoking are a big no-no. I couldn't run and smoke. I was coughing, my lungs were on my mouth. I mean, it was impossible for me to do both. So, you see what I did? I didn't try to force myself anymore to quit smoking. I took on to something that I had 100% control over it. What was that? My ability to go and buy me running shoes, my ability to set up the alarm every day at 5 a.m. and get up and go for a run, my ability to join a running club and meet new friends. By the way, that's how I met my husband. So I focused on what I had control over. And guess what? I quit smoking. I couldn't smoke and run. So it's the same thing with dating and relationships. I want you to focus on what you can control and take care of that and put joy into that, and the rest is going to be taken care by itself. Because when we are doing what we can control, we are not stressed. You see, running didn't stress me, it added joy to my life. So I wasn't so much into testosterone anymore, I was more into estrogen. So that is my first advice. Focus on what you can control so you don't stress over unnecessary things that are not on your control. You're not trying to force things, rather, you are using your feminine energy power, which is in being and in taking care of yourself, focusing on you. Okay, and that, tell me after a month of doing this, how your dating life changes and how you start to feel more energized. You are going to feel more energized. Okay, so that's number one, and the one that I wanted to bring for today. But I'm going to give you a number two as well. Is the second reason why you may be exhausted in your love life, in dating and romantic relationships, is because you have learned through your life that being in control of things works. That when you are on top of things and trying to control every single detail of the puzzle, it works, and it does. It works for many, many things. If you want to build a bridge and you are an engineer, you need to be on top of everything. If you are a surgeon and you are conducting surgery on a patient, you need to be in control of everything. You need to know that your equipment is right, that your nurses are there, that the place is clean. So it does work for many, many, many things. If you have your business and you deal with clients, you need to be in control. You need to make sure that your office is in good shape, that you show up on time, all those things. So it's a very, very good thing. Now, what happens when we are in control like that, we tap into our masculine energy. And that again, tying it up with the first point I gave you, when we are in our masculine energy, when we are doing, we secrete a lot of testosterone. So, and that is okay. And if you are not balancing out all that doing with some being, if you go back home or you go on your dates and you still feel like you have to control everything, that you have to control this man, that you have to control the outcome of the date. Let's say you go on a date and you really like the guy and you are trying to be smart, be more beautiful, be funny. If you're trying to force any outcome, if you're trying to produce an outcome, and by that I mean the way he sees you are going to still be in your masculine energy. So you see the pattern here? You don't have any time to relax and replenish and really get those estrogen hormones in your body and really get balanced. You are hyper in your masculine energy into testosterone, and that's why you are feeling exhausted. So my clients on my Epic Love Accelerator program, they are all successful, highly intelligent, successful women. They are all professionals, business owners, athletes, really badass women. And when they hire me, they are usually exhausted because of all these reasons I gave you and some others. And little by little, they start to shift into being in their feminine energy when they are around a man. And that's how they can actually go on a lot of dates, or on more dates that they're going at least. And that's how they start to attract a different kind of men. Because when we are in this pattern of being all the time into doing, into controlling, into forcing, into trying to show an image, into trying to control what these men are going to think, what they are not going to think, how they are going to treat us, how many times they're going to see us, at what time, where, what we're going to be eating, everything, we really never, ever rest. And that we keep dating in the same neighborhood. We keep attracting the same kind of guys. So if your thing is that men are rude, that men, ghost you, that's a popular. Oh, men are rude, they ghost me. I go on dates and they never, they disappear and all that. That's why you keep attracting those kind of guys, because it's your way of being that feels very comfortable with that, even though it's really uncomfortable. But you are only seeing those men that are in your comfort zone. So when you start to make the shift, and the shift that I want you to make is start shifting into your power, into your feminine power that resides into drop the oars. Stop telling men what to do, what not to do. Stop trying to control the outcome. When we go on dates and we stop trying to control the outcome and we stop trying to control the men, we run out of things to say very fast. And what is left? Presence. What is left when we go on dates and we don't have to be in any way to force anything? It's real presence. And that's when intimacy happens. And that's when we are going to start to attract a higher league of men, because they are going to see that, they are going to feel that you are there present. And that is how you shift your energy is through being present in the here and now. Okay, so let me know if you have any questions regarding this. I know this is a very, very deep subject and it's a huge change for some of you. And if you need help with this, that is when having a mentor, a coach, somebody like me, somebody like all of my colleagues helps, because we learn something and we try it and we fail and we fall off the path of love. And then if we don't have somebody next to us holding us accountable, giving us a hug, even if it's a virtual hug, telling us you got it, you are practicing, like when you were a child and you started walking and you took a few steps and you fell, and you didn't give up. You got up and kept going because you had somebody around you that told you, yes, you took a first step. Yay, bravo, bravo. They didn't tell you, hey, loser, you're not going to walk again. What are you doing? No. So that's why if you are really, really having a hard time with this concept, if you are telling like, but Natalia, to everything I'm saying, that is your sign that you will really, really, really benefit from having somebody holding your hand for a certain period of time. So my Epic Love Accelerator program is 12 weeks, and that is enough time to really, really embody these new ways of being. So it's like, consider it like training wheels. So then you can be on your own and create the amazing love life that you want. I have had so many clients creating this, and I just love it. And I did it myself. So anyway, thank you so much for showing up. Thank you, Alexis, for commenting. And I will see you again next week on Wednesday at 12 p.m. on our live love talk. Bye. Oh, and I have a program, Blueprint. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome, Alexis. I hope you are doing good. I am sending you all my love. You got this. You got this. I believe in you. Okay, and sign up for my Irresistible Devotion Blueprint Masterclass next week, so you can keep being around positive conversation and with other women, and it will help you. Okay, it will help you. Keep surrounding yourself with positive women that want the best for you, that are rooting for you, that are creating a possibility of love, even when you don't see it. Having other people around you seeing it helps. Okay, much love. Bye.